Why are some people against vaccinations? Why do others believe that global warming is just a myth? Or even worse, why do groups like ISIS believe that what they're doing is right and moral? To us, the correct perspective is obvious. And yet, despite all the evidence and arguments we give, these destructive beliefs have not died out. In fact, they're stronger than ever. So, the question is, why are we so bad at arguing? Well, one of the biggest reasons is the backfire effect. This states that when you try to argue against a person's belief by providing contradicting evidence, you actually end up strengthening their initial belief. Just consider this experiment. Researchers tried all sorts of interventions to reform parents who were against vaccination. They provided scientific evidence that there was no link between vaccination and autism. They also tried a more emotional route. For example, some parents saw gruesome pictures of children who suffered from vaccine-preventable diseases. Now, perhaps it's no surprise that the rational argument didn't work. But perhaps the more emotional argument would, right? Well, not a single intervention succeeded. In fact, in an unfortunate twist of events, they all did the exact opposite. The scientific evidence made the anti-vaxxers less willing to vaccinate their child, and the emotional evidence made vaccination seem more dangerous than ever. This is completely irrational, right? But take a look at the fMRI scans. When people see information that contradicts their worldview, the parts of the brain involved in reasoning and logic will actually shut down. Instead, it was the parts of the brain that handled attacks and the flight or fight response that lit up. This is why a calm discussion could quickly elevate into a heated fight, and when it gets to this point, we no longer care about the truth. We just want to win the argument. So, now that you know just how biased your brain is, you should try to be more open-minded towards other people's opinions. On the other hand, what if the other guy is completely wrong? What if his worldview is dangerous and damaging, not only to himself, but to the others around him? In this case, there is a way to bypass the backfire effect and win the argument. Simply ask the other person to explain his own position in detail. See, the idea is we don't understand things nearly as well as we think we do. Sure, we are familiar with many things, such as toilets and fans, but we confuse our familiarity of these things with our understanding of how they work. It's only when you're asked, how does a flushing toilet actually work, that you realize just how little you understand. And so it goes with our opinions. In one experiment, people with strong opinions on policy issues were asked, for example, why the carbon tax was bad. They had to go through exactly how a carbon tax would lead to problems, step by step, and explain each cause and effect. At this point, they realized just how complex the situation was. Hence, these people changed to a more moderate view, saying they were now less certain of their opinion. So, next time you need to win an argument, you should ask the other person to explain their own viewpoint in depth. And most importantly, if the argument turns out to be over nothing, it's best to just agree to disagree and move on.